Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're going over a very nice trap in the Vienna. Alright, this is a very cool one because typically the idea will be you'll either win some material or you just get into a winning position because you're going to get such a good lead in development and a weakened king. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. Here we go. We start with e4, e5, knight c3, the Vienna, knight c6 defending, bishop c4, bishop c5, and here is the trappy move we play. We play queen to g4 here, and this allows our first part of the trap. It's a twofer, and this is threatening queen takes on g7 because the pawn on g7 is unprotected. And here a lot of people playing too fast or maybe just not thinking too hard will play pawn to d5 for the double attack. Here it looks like black is just winning because, well, the bishop's attacking the queen, the pawn's attacking the bishop. It's a double attack. Well, here white was making their own threat. Queen takes on g7, and this is threatening to win the rook. So yes, they can take, but we will take here also. At this point, well, there's only one good move they'll play. They'll play queen to f6, which defends everything, at least as far as the rook is concerned. And here white has nothing better. They go ahead and train queens, knight takes, and then knight takes on d5 for a double attack. Here they're attacking the undefended knight and also the pawn here on c7 check, which forks the king and the rook. So here, well, yeah, you're just up 2 extra pawns. Going back to the game over here, people will not fall for this, and they will typically play this move, queen to f6, and now this goes into the more advanced trap here. It is now white to move and spring the real big trap on them. What do you play here as white? Believe it or not, white has the amazing move of knight to d5 here, exclam. Here the knight is attacking the queen, but also the knight takes on c7 check, again forking the king and the rook. Okay, there really is no good square for the queen to move to defend c7 and on g7. So wait a second, when they brought the queen here, weren't they attacking on f2? They are. And here they go ahead and take. How is this a trap? At this point, black does get into a bad position because now there is no more good attacking moves for black against the white king. And here we still have the double threat of g7 and knight takes on c7 here. Oh gosh, at this point, black is going to start realizing they are not in the best position here. Here, typically, what they're going to play is king to f8. I mean, it makes sense. The king moves out of the way to guard on g7, which doesn't lose the rook, and they don't have to deal with knight takes on c7 check with winning the king and the rook over here, right? Well, here you're more than welcome to go pawn grabbing, although I don't recommend it. After knight takes on c7, d5 is actually winning here, as it is truly a double attack here, and you don't have any good threats for queen takes g7 anymore. Here, I recommend to develop your pieces. Remember, here you have such a big lead in development, you should be able to start making threats and attacking your opponent. So what do you play? Well, the queen's out too early. Let's develop an attack. Here you go ahead and play knight to h3, and the queen is actually running out of squares here. In fact, the only good square for this queen to run to is going to be d4. In this game, black went ahead and tried to enter Zamoa, or an in-between move, and played pawn to h5, attacking the queen. Simple chess, let's just go to move our queen away. Queen to g5 is good. Here we need to make sure that we keep protecting our g2 pawn. And, black can try to kick you away with like f6 or something, but at this point you can just play simple chess and just take the queen over here. After pawn takes on g5, knight takes on c7, you're just going to be up a few extra pawns again, and this king is still pretty weak. And don't worry, if bishop takes the knight over here, just play rook f1 and you win your piece back, and you still have plenty of threats in this position. So in the game, here after queen to g5, black went ahead and played queen to d4, and now we're attacking the bishop and the unprotected pawn. Simple chess, we just defend both with pawn to d3. In fact, here, another small little trap. We're actually threatening to trap the queen here. Do you see it? Here, black's not paying attention and just plays, I don't know, something like knight f6. Here, you can trap the queen with pawn to c3, and the queen has nowhere good to go to. Okay. In the game, black saw the threat and went ahead and played bishop back to b6. Here, the idea was if you do play pawn c3, well, then I could just bring the queen back to c5, and, man, the queen will probably retreat later on over here. For those looking at bishop e3, be careful. Queen takes on b2, and you just lost a pawn. Back to the game. What is the best move in this position? Again, just because you're getting free moves and trying to attack the queen does not mean she is the end goal. Remember, if you win the king, you win the game. So the idea, develop your pieces and attack the other weakness in this game, which is the king. So here we go, rook to f1. Here putting pressure on f7. Already a simple threat, knight takes on b6 and rook takes on f7. Okay, black went ahead and played pawn f6, and this was definitely a mistake. It is now white to move and win. Feel free to push pause if you want to and see if you can find this very nice combination here. All right, hopefully you push pause. Hopefully you tried to figure it out. What do you play here as white? Here we crush through. We play knight takes on f6. The only thing guarding us from checkmating this king is the pieces that are protecting it. So let's get rid of them. Let's sack to attack. Well, nothing better than just to take back over here. And here, well, let's crush through. It's now forced checkmate in 5. Rook takes on f6 check. Knight takes. Queen takes on f6 check. King over to e8. There is now 2 different checkmates in 3 here. Here I prefer this one with bishop f7 check, king to f8, bishop g6 check, king g8, queen f7 checkmate. I believe this was Tomanov's checkmate pattern. And in the other one, well, I do like this one too, as it goes with one of my principles, which is develop your pieces. Here you get to play queen to f7 check, king over to d8, and well, let's bring in more pieces. What do you play here? Remember, the queen cannot checkmate by herself. Here we play bishop g5 check. Here attacking the king, and there's just nowhere to move. Here you have to block, and at this point, we just get to play queen takes on e7 for mate. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next game.